I've created an oh so cute shaker card using products from Lawn Fawn. Hey everyone, it's Joy here and welcome to my channel. Okay, so let's start with our backdrop. This is actually the, what is it called? The Spooky Forest backdrop, and I have used it. This is my second time using it for a Christmas card. I am using iced spruce for the outside edges. I wanted a little bit of green, but very wintry. I'm also going to be using speckled egg for my snow, so really kind of muted colors. Now, this video is long. There's a lot of coloring, a lot of putting together in this card. You can speed up the coloring if you don't want to watch it that slow, even though I've sped it up using the gear in YouTube. Then I have die cut a little snowy hill using the slimline stitched hillside borders from Lawn Fawn. Here's a little bit of that speckled egg on the edge of that because we are going to create a little snowy hill scene. I am using the new Build-A-Critter winter and holiday dies. We're going to use some older dies. Oh gosh, I love this card. Here is the the mini wreath die. And I am using Olo markers, and you'll be able to see the caps there of what colors that I'm using. And these just stayed in the cardstock, so that's how I'm going to color them. Keeping it super simple, I did dark, medium, light colors, and I'm just blending it out. That made it so easy to do. Then I'm going to color the little berries that go along with that wreath. And there is a cute bow that I'm going to color red as well. I'm using a darker and a medium color on that. Keeping it really, really simple. So I have two of those wreaths. I only end up using one. But you definitely can keep that, put it in with your die cut, and you already have one for the next time you're going to create something. Okay, so now that those are done, I'm just coloring on a scratch piece of paper because I'm using alcohol ink markers. I didn't feel like I wanted to clean up. I was feeling a little lazy. I did not want to clean off my silicone mat, so I literally just grabbed a scratch piece of paper and just using the that as my background so I don't get it on my work surface. Then we have these darling candy canes. I believe that those are from the Build-A-Critter holiday. This is from the Build-A-Critter holiday as well. The sweaters are from the Build-A-Winter. So you could do fall, you could just do anything wintry, snowy, whatever. And of course, this is holiday. I have the fox, the Build-A-Fox, and the Build-A-Bunny. That was an older release, and I'm using both the fox and the bunny in this. I'm creating a fun little Christmas winter scene. They have treats, they have presents. There's going to be Christmas lights. It's just all cute. Here is the sweater. I'm going to do this in red. So I'm going to do like a Santa shirt and hat for the fox. And this is from the Build-A-Critter winter. So you have the sweater itself and the arms of the sweater. The bunny is going to have a scarf. I think that is from the Build-A-Critter winter as well. So I'm just getting a nice color there. I'm gonna get that out of the way. The bunny is going to be wearing reindeer antlers. Like it's a little headband with reindeer antlers, which I think is so cute. I am going to bring in some blue with the mug, and there's going to be two presents, and I do them in the same color family, just a lighter and a darker. And this has a little snowflake that's going to be adhered onto this cute mug. There's also a little whipped cream that goes on there. I mean, Lawn Fawn just has the cutest things ever. And I feel so lucky. I have been on their design team for quite a few years now, and I just adore them. They have been one of my favorite stamp companies from the very, when I got back into cards, because I stopped for a while. When I got back into cards quite a few years ago, oh my gosh, I just love them. Okay, so for the scarf, I'm going to just do some blues and greens, and I'm just doing it in a stripe because I think that's really, really cute. The reality is you don't even see this part by the time I'm done. You see the hanging down part of the scarf. You don't even see this part around his neck. But, I mean, we'll keep the coloring in regardless. But that feels kind of fun for him. I am also using the Build-A-Snowman die. And I'm trying to remember what I used from him. Oh, I think you know what I used from the Build-A-Snowman die? Literally the holly berries and leaves that I'm going to adorn their little hats with. I use that. I'm also using the mini string of lights because I love Christmas lights. I'm going to put this in this. I did a card in similar colors for Lawn Fawn using the Build-A-Snowman a year or two ago. And it's on their YouTube channel, and it turned out so pretty. And I just kind of wanted to replay some of those colors on this card because I loved that one so much. Here's the little reindeer antlers. Aren't they so cute? This is what the bunny's going to wear instead of a hat. I just think it's so funny. Then I am also using the Reveal Wheel Holiday Sentiments. And that is going to be our Merry Christmas sentiment. I needed something small, and so I found it in that. Yeah, I think that's everything. But I will have everything listed and linked for you guys below in the description. Here are the two presents, that darker and lighter blue, and then the ribbons will just be red. Like I said, this is a lot of coloring. If you did not want to color with markers, just die cut everything from a colored cardstock. This would go a lot faster that way. I just really wanted the look of the shading, which you could do with ink blending as well. But there were so many little things that I just felt like it was easier if I just colored them with an alcohol ink marker. Here's this cute little gingerbread. Isn't he cute, little gingerbread man? Oh my gosh, he's so cute. And there's a little white piece that goes behind him. Then we have the fox here. And then we have the bunny. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. And there's a little spot that I colored for the fox's eyes, and I accidentally grabbed a black glitter brush marker instead of just the black marker. I was able to fix it later, but yeah, it was kind of funny. Okay, so we're going to color him. I don't know why I even colored the belly, and even worse, I glued the belly on, and he's wearing a sweater. So you don't even see that, so you can totally leave that part out. But how cute are these little critters that you could use for any type of card? Because they also have Halloween costumes, and I think there's like little outfits for the bunny. And I'm betting they would probably interchange with that fox for sure. I think because they're the same size, so I don't even think that would matter. So these little guys are so cute for any type of cards. I'm just so excited that they all have these little Christmas outfits because I think that is so cute. Let's get this fox colored. I really didn't need to go into detail on the top of his head, but his ears do stick out a little bit when I put his Santa hat on. So you do want to definitely color those. And again, let's color the center part. I didn't even need to do all that. I just kind of wasn't thinking. I'm just in the mode of coloring. And so that's what I did. And again, this is a shaker card, and we're going to use some mica flakes because I feel like it, it just resembles fun snow. It's glittery. And then also when it's sitting at rest, it almost looks like another snowy hill behind our little critters because we did die cut one snowy hill already. So I'm just going back in and blending out just a little bit more to give that darker and lighter shadow area. I really like that kind of pronounced when I'm coloring. So I do tend to go over it a couple times, but that's just a personal choice. That's just kind of what I like. And he will have die cuts on the tip of his tail, on his paws essentially, and his feet. Those will be in black. The tail will be in white, kind of grayish white. Gray brown white. The bunny is going to be in a grayish brown color. I didn't want a white bunny. I wanted him to stand out. So I'm just going to color the pink for his ears, and then when I grab the marker for the eyes, I'm going to grab the glitter marker, and then I'm like, oh no. But I needed to make that bigger because it needed to fit behind the eyes, and I still wasn't paying attention. It took me a second, so I do end up coloring on the back, but it didn't matter. So yeah, that's where I'm like, oh no, glitter. Okay, so we have the fox. He is all done. And let's color his, well, no, he's not all done. Let's color his hands and feet. And then there's a little round circle that will go behind his nose. that I'm going to color black. Again, you could just die cut from colored cardstock. It would go a lot faster, but this is also a lot of fun. I like it this way. So let me get those colored with a kind of some grays. Here's where I'm doing the back side because I'm like, I don't need the glitter. It's just so funny sometimes what you do and you're just not thinking about it. Okay, so here is our darling little bunny, and he is going to be sitting down. Now I have created a couple things with bunnies with this bunny here because they have some different bodies, and same with the Build-A-Fox die. For Halloween, for Lawn Fawn on their YouTube channel, I had a little bunny kind of bent over so you can just kind of see his bum and his little feet because he's digging in a pumpkin. He's cleaning out a pumpkin. And one of the other cards was this little bunny was digging in a his garden in the carrot patch, little, you know, carrot garden. And that was kind of a pop-up card. So his little head and ears would pop up. So that was really cute. You can check those videos out on Lawn Fawn if you wanted to. But yeah, so I've used him a couple times and he is really, really cute. But this time I have not actually used the bunny sitting down. So he is going to be sitting down. The fox is going to be standing up. I just thought that would be cute to have them doing something different. They're going to be exchanging gifts, having goodies. There's Christmas lights on. The snow is falling. Like, it's going to be a whole little Christmassy scene. And I am totally in love with this card. I think it is so much fun. So there's the center, there's the belly, or the bunny's belly. I ended up not using that. I think I colored it, but I ended up not using it. Nope, I did not color it. Thank goodness. There's a lot of coloring going on. Let me know down in the comments, do you guys like to color like this? Do you have fun doing this with any kind of markers or just, you know, any kind of coloring? Do you like that? Those were the little feet. The little pads of the feet will be pink. His little inside of his ears are pink. Here are those cute, tiny, I love them. They're so perfect from the Build-A-Snowman die set. These are the holly berries and leaves. Each one is going to have that on their little hats, just a little something extra because it's so cute. And again, they are the perfect size. These critters would go perfect building a snowman because there's 2 sizes of snowmen in that die set. Okay, for my background A2 size, I am ink blending with Speckled Egg. I don't need to go all the way down to the bottom because we are not going to see that. And then I'm going to bring in a white Lustre marker and do some splattering for some snowfall effect. And I'm going to do it over this background. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of that out. And I'm also going to do it over the wreath and the spooky forest backdrop, the front of that, just to have some snowfall. So I'm going to squeeze some of that out. I'm going to get a lot going on there. I'm going to set that aside to dry. Let me bring in my snowy background hill, my spooky, I always forget what it's called, the spooky forest backdrop. I don't know why. I always forget what it's called, but I do. And then the wreaths, again, I only used one, where I thought I was going to use them on each side of the tree, but it just didn't make sense. So, or on each tree, not each side of the tree, on each tree. All right, let's glue our little critters together. I wanted to get that background done so it could be drying while I'm putting these guys together. I am gluing on the little face backwards, and that's the little nose piece, and it fits right in perfect. So now we have this darling fox, and then we have one more piece that goes on the front for him. We will adhere him to his body, and I like to tilt the heads a little bit on these guys because it gives them a little bit of character. Like, they're not just standing still, you know, something's going on. Maybe they're chatting, maybe they're talking about Christmas presents, maybe they're whatever. But I think that is really, really cute. Look at how cute he is. Oh my gosh, that fox is darling. So let me glue his little head on there. I'm going to tilt it in just a second because I forgot I wanted to tilt it. And then we have his tail. Yeah, there we go. And I have to glue the sweater to the arms, glue the sweater on. Don't glue the belly on. I did it. I just, you know, just kind of going through the motions, not thinking that, hey, I'm putting a sweater on it. Right here, I was like, well, that was special joy. So let me get that cute red sweater tucked under him. But look at how cute he is. He's so cute even like that. I needed to remove that head a little bit. And I'm actually going to bring in 1mm foam adhesive to pop that up. And then again, I will tilt that to the side just a little bit. Let's remove that release paper and then we can place that down. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Then let's put his little boots on. Not really, just the color of his little paws. And the same thing with his hands, and then we can put his sweaters on, his sweater sleeves on. And he is going to be holding the hot chocolate mug with the snowflake, and he's going to be holding a candy cane. The bunny is going to be holding a candy cane and the little gingerbread man. He's so cute. So you can see these really do go together so easily. And there's different shaped arms too. They have arms that are out or arms that are closed in like this. So you can change up how you want the arms to be. So it's really fantastic in these dies. Let's glue our gingerbread man. And then let's get our arms on here. So I'm only going to add glue at the back of the arms, like where the shoulder would be. That way they can be lifted up and you can tuck things in. So you could have one arm closed in, you know, over its chest and one out or straight down, or however you want to do it. You could absolutely do it that way. So he's going to hold that cute coffee mug, and then I will tuck in a candy cane into him. Let's put on his little Santa hat. And so this is going in front, and I do want his little ears to peek out because I think that's so cute. His little character is just so cute. And the band. Now there is a ball for the Santa hat. I just totally forgot about it. So my bad. Just absolutely forgot about it. Look at how cute. Okay. There's that little, you know, the holly leaves and berries. We're going to put that on his hat. And then let's adhere the berries down. And I am using a Pick Pro tool, which makes this really easy to put all these parts together, and also some reverse tweezers. Although I did misplace my favorite reverse tweezers, and I just don't ever misplace anything. I've just never been that person my whole entire life. Okay, there's that little piece that goes behind the eyes, a little circle that goes behind the nose. That is die cut on purpose to fill in for the eyes and nose, so you don't have to worry about putting little tiny pieces in there. I do end up scooting his head up because he looked like he didn't have a neck. I had him scooched down way too far. So I'll move that. I do have his head tilted just a little bit. We're going to put the scarf on that we created and created little fun stripes. Here's his cute little bunny feet. I'm going to adhere those to the pink, or adhere the pink to those. So his little footsie pads are just a really light pink. And then just his regular arms that come in and close, but he has the same thing. The arms can be out straight or not. How cute is that? So I'm going to put the scarf on first and then put his arms over the scarf. To me, that just made the most sense. So again, you won't see that because he's going to be holding the gingerbread and candy cane, gingerbread man and candy cane. But how cute is he? Oh my gosh, he's so cute. So we're going to adhere that down. Again, just a little bit of liquid glue. So cute. I think I need a little bit more glue. And yep, I'm going to move that up just a little bit. Sorry, guys. Things were just a little bit out of place. There. Oh, cute, cute. And then again, wearing the antlers, the reindeer antlers, little, you know, headband. It just made me giggle. I don't know why, but I thought that is just really cute and funny. And then of course we're going to add the holly berries and leaves to this. He is just so cute. And they also have different expressions. So you can see that the bunny, the eyes are kind of closed a little bit and smiley, and then the fox, the eyes are open and smiley. They each have different faces like that. So that's a lot of fun. Let me get, I don't know why I was struggling with getting it tucked in there. So I'm sorry I'm out of view just a little bit, but I'm just trying to get it tucked and I'm not sure what the deal was. It was me. I was struggling, but I want to get that gingerbread guy in there, and then I can just tuck the candy cane behind the gingerbread man cookie. And I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue behind that. And then I can tuck that one in place. Aren't they so cute together? And you can see the shadow and the light area. That's why I like to color, either ink blending or coloring with alcohol ink markers. I love that. Then we have our two presents. I'm going to glue those together because to me it just felt like part of the story was a gift exchange. They're having some fun Christmassy treats. There's probably Christmas music playing, and they're going to have a gift exchange. So let's get that glued together. Okay, let's get our background put together. I'm going to put the snow bank in front. So I'm just using a little bit of liquid glue and tape runner. I don't want that to go anywhere. I'm going to place that where I want to, and I can trim the excess off. Now, something that we're going to do a little bit differently. We're going to have this front piece, some foam adhesive, the Christmas lights, then the acetate piece, then foam adhesive, and then the background piece. So there's a little bit of foam adhesive between the front tree piece and the acetate. So I'm going to do, I think this is 1 millimeter. Yep. 1 millimeter foam adhesive on this. Then we're going to adhere the Christmas lights using the mini string of lights to this. I just wanted there to be, I don't know, some depth between the Christmas lights, the Christmas tree, and the piece of acetate. I did not want that all adhered down to one piece, if that makes sense. So I'm going to add that. Here are the Christmas tree lights. I forgot to put them together, so I die cut them from black licorice cardstock, adding the little white piece, and then I'm going to come in and add the other white die cut from white cardstock. And I'm just using the markers to color. So red, blue, green, and yellow. I did have to bring in yellow for that. I'm just using the darker and medium color to give them a shadow and highlight area. And the reason why I'm using these 3 different dyes, you don't have to. This has a highlight piece die cut out of it. So when you adhere these to those white Christmas lights, that's going to shine through. But if you didn't want to die cut that many times, you just die cut the solid piece, and you could use a white gel pen and add a highlight if you wanted to do that as well. So this was coloring really, really fast. And then I can just use some liquid glue to adhere these to the Christmas lights. So on the back of the Spooky Forest backdrop, we have our 1 millimeter foam adhesive. I'm going to lay these out on my work surface, and I'm just going to take that backdrop. I'm going to take my one little guy because he's going to be standing up, and I'm just going to, because the adhesive has the backing paper removed off of it, it's sticky. So I'm going to push this down and grab those Christmas lights. To me, that was just the easiest way to get them exactly where I wanted. And then I can trim that excess off. Then I'm going to add my piece of acetate to this. So I'm going to use some liquid glue in some of the spots there that the Christmas lights are there. I want that to be able to adhere to that. And then I will add it in, I think I add it in a few little spots. To me, I like a little bit of liquid glue also because it just holds nicely. So I'm going to adhere this down. I'm going to trim the excess off of this. But I really want to make sure everything is nice and adhered. Then I'm also going to add some more foam adhesive. So I will add 2 millimeter foam adhesive to the back of this acetate piece because that's where our shaker material is going to be. You don't have to do it this way. This is just a little extra step. But again, I like, when I'm looking at the card right now, there's just that little bit of dimension between the tree, the lights, and the acetate. Okay, so here's that 2 millimeter foam adhesive. Make sure all the adhesive is butted up to each other. I'm going to add a piece close to the top of that snowy hillside. That way all of our shaker bits don't fall down where you can't see it. It just kind of sits right there. And I'm going to be using some Distress Mica Flakes for that, like I mentioned, because I think that'd be really pretty. It feels very snowy. And it also sits like a hillside die. And we're almost done, you guys. Thanks for hanging in here with me. Okay. I'm going to grab the mica flakes. I'm going to add a little bit of anti-static powder on my acetate. Some of this is going to stick to it, which I personally don't mind, but not as much if you use that. I'm removing the release paper, and then let's dump in. I'm going to put in a good amount because I want a good amount to be seen even when it's just sitting there. Then I'm going to take my background piece, turn it over, and just adhere it. Both of them are A2 size, so I'm going to line that up. Maybe. My fingernails were sticking to the adhesive. And then I'm going to press this down really, really good to make sure everything is nice and sealed. And when I shake it, all my shaker bits don't come out. Oh my gosh, look at that. It is so fun. All right, let's put this card together. We have our little bow here. I'm going to fold the little long piece around the front of the bow. And then I can adhere that with glue. This bow is going to go on the mini wreath, of course. And there is some little, I don't know, they could be berries, they could be little Christmas balls, whatever you want them to be. That's what they're going to be. And I'm going to use one of the mini wreaths. That's going to go at the top in the center. Again, I had die cut two, but it just didn't look right. So sometimes you have to change your plans when you're in the middle of a design. So I'm going to add that right at the top here. And then let's adhere that to the top. How cute is that? That's going to be the home for our sentiment. But let's add our little berries. Just adding some dots of glue and then just using my Pick Pro tool and putting those all around. Aren't the Christmas lights so cute in the background? And it doesn't just look like they're just having the most fun at Christmas time. And then let's put our little guys together. We have our fox. He's going to be standing here. And I do have them spread apart a little bit because I do want to see that background and the snow and everything. And I will just place those presents down in front of them. I think I do add a little bit of foam adhesive behind the fox's head, about 1 millimeter, just so it's also adhered and sturdy. And I did not add any white gel pen highlights. I did stamp the sentiment from the Reveal Wheel Holiday Sentiments with Lobster ink, and it says Merry Christmas. I just trimmed that out with my paper trimmer. I added some adhesive, some foam adhesive, and I'm going to center that in the wreath. And I got a little crooked. And this is on an A2 size white card base. That's what this card will be put on. And then we can take a look at this up close and see how everything looks. Oh my gosh, isn't that so fun? Look at all the shaker bits. It's so cute. Look at all those little images. I love Lawn Fawn. I love their images so much. I think it turned out lovely. I'm going to set it down and look at that fun snowy hill in the background. I think that is so fun. I think this is a great Christmas card. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you feel inspired, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.